Welcome to Zur, Week 14, Week number 1 for the Dark Below, where today things are going to be changed up just a little bit, where you can now upgrade your exotics by trading in your old ones, in addition to 7,500 Glimmer and an exotic shard. New and or upgraded exotics give 36 light per piece of gear, which can get you to level 32 if you have full armor with 36 light per piece. Sorry, just moving my microphone. Zur is down by the Crucible vendors, down the middle. Curios, we have Pulse Rifle, Scout Rifle, and Fusion Rifle telemetries. Level up your weapons a little bit faster. We have the Plasma Drive and the Emerald Coil. Vehicle upgrades, upgrading those rare Sparrows. Blue quality. And right here we had the Urn of Sacrifice, which I am showing a clip of now, hopefully. This plays into the Eris mission, or the quest rather. For those of you with the expansion, you need this for the Eris quest, which we will look at a little bit later. Exotics for sale. Titans get Ruin Wings. Now these are new with the expansion, but you do need the expansion to buy them. The bonuses on these things are pretty good, and I'll be buying them just because they're new and I want them for my collection, but I also want to test them out. Strength is kind of a meh stat, for endgame PvE, but it appears to be a higher stat roll than normal, maxing out at 106. It's pretty good. Increased reload speed with special weapons, great bonus. Causing damage with a melee reduces your grenade cooldown. This bonus is okay, it's more of a solo bonus, but the main bonus here is that heavy ammo drops more often and contains more ammo per drop. This is a great bonus, although we don't know how much of an effect this actually has without some proper testing. However, it is still great nonetheless, especially because this is a subclass neutral piece of armor. Is it better than the Armamentarium? Only time will tell, and I want to get some testing going on these right away. Are these better than no backup plans for endgame PvE? I would say yes. I'd say these are definitely in the upper tier of Titan exotics as opposed to the lower tier, so they're worth a buy more than they are a pass, but this is a judgment call on your end. It all depends on your money situation and if you like using something a lot right now. If you have Armamentarium and you're low on coins, you may want to hold off, especially considering you can upgrade your Armamentarium this week. More on that a little bit later, but I am going to buy a set for myself. Hunters, see the return of Acolophage Symbiote, a fantastic gunslinger helm. This is basically the gunslinger helm to get. An extra golden gun shot is fantastic for PvP. Very, very helpful for endgame PvE as well. The stat roll is a little on the low end, but that's totally okay. We haven't seen this helm in quite a while. Definitely worth a purchase if you are a gunslinger hunter and do not have this already. Although, as always, you should always assess your money situation and if you already like using something you do right now, or you have right now. I am going to buy one of these for my future hunter. Warlocks, I really don't know what to tell you. It's Void Fangs. I don't know if there's just the button is stuck over at Bungie, like someone spilled soda on it and it just doesn't move anymore, but yeah. I'll say my usual shtick. They're good for PvP, not as good for PvE, but I imagine most of you know the deal by now with these. Skull of Dire Ahamkara is better for PvE, and the new Obsidian Mind Warlock Helm is both better in PvE than Void Fangs. I would say Obsidian Mind, definitely the top tier PvE Void Walker exotic, followed by Skull of Dire Ahamkara, followed by Void Fang Vestments, PvE. Yeah. Sorry, Warlocks. Truth is this week's exotic weapon for 17 strange coins. Now, this is the upgraded version, so if you maybe want to save your Glimmer or your exotic shards and you have a lot of spare strange coins and you wanted to get your Truth upgraded, you can totally do it this way because Upgrading is going to reset all your bonuses on Truth anyway. This is a very good rocket launcher overall, very good in PvP. I think Yallarhorn is a better overall weapon than Truth, though, especially because Yallarhorn also has tracking, although it's not as aggressive. If you have Yallarhorn and you are short on coins, you can definitely pass on Truth. If you're looking for a good PvP rocket launcher and you don't have an exotic you already like using, then Truth is a very, very good rocket launcher. It's definitely in the A tier. But I would imagine that most people have an exotic primary or special they like using, which would devalue Truth a little bit since you wouldn't be using it that much. Buy it only if you think you're going to get a lot of use from it. Exotic shards, 7 strange coins each. These are needed to get that final upgrade on your exotics and are needed to trade in old exotics for the new upgraded versions. And the engram of the week is the Helm. The Glass House for Titans and Obsidian Mine for Warlocks are both pretty good helms overall. They are new with the Dark Below, but I'm not sure if you can get them from an exotic engram if you don't have the expansion. I'm not even sure if you can get them from the exotic Helm engram, period. If it turns out you can, I'll gamble one. If it turns out you can, hunters have some pretty beast helms overall as well. So, helm is definitely worth a gamble more than, gloves or chest armor. And like I said earlier, Obsidian Mind is the best PvE Voidwalker exotic armor piece by a landslide. So if it turns out we can end up getting it from the exotic helmet engram, gamble away. Now we move to the newest part of the video, where we move to the exotic armor and weapon upgrade options. Remember that if you should choose to upgrade any exotics from Xur, the progression on your exotic will be reset and you will have to level it over again. Please remember, they give 30 light at default now, armor-wise, so your level won't fluctuate, but your bonuses will need to be re-leveled. Each class has 2 armor upgrades available. I assume it'll be 2 for each class each week. Hunters, you can upgrade Mask of the Third Man and or Young Ahamkara's Spine. This upgrade will really depend on if you're a Blade Dancer or a Gunslinger. If you're a Blade Dancer, you're probably going to want to upgrade that mask. But Gunslingers will most likely be using Symbiote, which is already available to buy right now in its already upgraded level 32 capable form. So, probably can skip out on Young Ahamkara's Spine for now. I can't imagine these will be upgraded with any sort of urgency. Titans, you have the Armamentarium and no backup plans as upgrade options. Priority definitely goes to the Armamentarium if you have the resources. No backup plans are not nearly as urgent of an upgrade. They're not really urgent at all unless you really, really love them. Warlocks can choose from Light Beyond Nemesis and Sunbreakers, of which I would prioritize Sunbreakers over Light Beyond Nemesis, because Light Beyond Nemesis is kind of bad outside of 3v3 PvP, where your defense stats do not matter. While Sunbreakers, you're probably going to be using Sunbreakers over Light Beyond Nemesis in endgame PvE. Weapons available to upgrade are Suros, Red Death, The Last Word, Thorn, Icebreaker, and Thunderlord. I'd say The Last Word gets the least priority out of this set PvE-wise, because it's probably the least used weapon in PvE. Although if you're going to be participating in Iron Banner coming up on the 16th and you use The Last Word a lot, then maybe it's worth an upgrade if you can level it quickly, since attack values matter. All the weapons here are very, very good, so your upgrade choice is really just going to depend on what weapon you like using the most. I would go Suros over Red Death, I would go Thorn over Last Word, and I would go Icebreaker over Thunderlord by just a tiny margin, and we're talking about PvE. Suros and Icebreaker are definitely getting a lot of use in Crota's End right now, although with Icebreaker, if you can already two-shot the Knights during the Crota fight, upgrading it will not turn them into a one-shot, at least I really doubt it. PvP-wise, Suros is an absolute monster. The last word is an absolute monster. Just remember that attack values don't matter outside of Iron Banner, so you don't really need to upgrade your weapons at all for PvE. Or, sorry, for PvP, unless, of course, you're doing Iron Banner. So, caution. Remember, attack values do not matter outside of Iron Banner. But basically, you should upgrade whatever weapon you use the most right now. Anyway, guys, that is your much extended Xur Week 14 recommendation video. I'm going to go to bed. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Oh, hey, how about before we go? I'm sure someone wants to see what I got. Right? Bam. Oops, another Skull of Daira Hemkara. There you go. See ya.